Alright, what's up everybody? I'm going to show you how you can start creating your own piano or synth tracks. Alright, so I'm going to go into live loops. Okay, I'm going to start a new song here. Alright, the first thing I want you to do is we're going to drag in a drum track to help us keep our beat. Alright, so I'm going to go to loops, go to drums. Alright, for the sake of time, I already know which one I want to try, so I'm going to drag in this around midnight beat one. I'm going to place it right there. Alright, now that's just to kind of keep us on beat, to keep the tempo going. Alright, so I'm going to play that drum track. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit plus. Now here's where it gets different. I'm going to select instruments now. So I'm going to select instruments. And I'm going to go to my keyboard part. So if it doesn't say keyboard, swipe it. We want the smart piano. So I click on the smart piano. Now here opens up, you see the names of the different chords across the top. Alright, so we have E minor, A minor, D minor, G, C, F, B flat, B diminished. Alright, name of the chords. Now you can play each of those different chords just by tapping anywhere below the name of the chord. Now each of these sections will play it at a higher level of notes. So if you tap the top section, it'll play it at its highest sounding chord. And if I tap down here, the lowest white section, it plays a lower sounding chord of that chord name. So depending on where you press in the middle of those sections, you get a different chord sound. Now this gray section down here, each of these individual gray sections plays a single note within that chord. So you can play an arpeggio if you play the notes back to back, or any pattern that you want to try messing around with. Alright, let's look at a couple tools we can use here. If you click up here on this little run here, this is called the arpeggiator. Alright, if I turn this on, click in this where it says run, and I'm going to click off the screen here. Now, if I tap and hold anywhere, it's going to play an arpeggio for me. Alright, so notice when I press and hold what happens here on each of the notes. It's a pretty cool tool to use. So depending on where you press in the white section, it'll start an arpeggio wherever you press. The lower you press here in the section, the lower the notes are in that arpeggio. Alright, so that's a pretty cool tool to use at your disposal. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off here. Click it. Then I'm going to turn it off. Now I'm going to show you how you can change your sound. Right now we're in grand piano. If you click that, you can change to any other type of sounds listed here. Alright, the synths or the pianos or the electric piano pads. Alright, so there's lots of different sounds you could try to implement doing this. So I'm just going to randomly pick a synth sound here just to show you and change it, what happens. Alright, so now that we kind of walked through all those tools, now let's say once you messed around, you have something you want to try to record. So we're going to hit the record button, and it'll give us a count in. And then you basically just start playing whatever you've messed around with and came to. We'll record 4 bars there. Alright, then we'll stop. Now we'll head back to our live loops by pressing the little squares up here. Alright, now notice, now that loop is there in our live loops to play with my drum track. So if I hit the play button, it'll play there, and now I've created my own loop there, my own original loop that I can use in my song. So that's your goal today. Try to create your own original piano or synth loop using the smart piano.